Can you put a swear in your title for a game? Can you legally do that?
I have never seen a game
probably
with a
not.
swear in the title.
Weird to think about. I just can't stop thinking about how Shadow the Hedgehog swore in his game.
Damn you!
Yeah, that was E10 and up.
PS2 classic.
Oh, I remember when he died, him saying shit, and I was like, oh, my parents didn't hear that.
Remember that time he died and he's like, fuck you, Eggman. Just me.
That game was originally gonna be called Shadow the fucking Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Shadow the
Can't call him a
goddamn
bitch.
fucking hedgehog.
Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the No Thumbs Up podcast, where down is up and thumbs are down. On today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at Werewolves Within 2021, directed by Sean Levy, a film about being a good neighbor, just like Mr. Rogers. But first, let me introduce some beautiful people. First, we have Sundown Dane. Ow! No Hand Noah. Don't show it.
I make it look like I have no hand.
You could have just left it off screen. We would have been none the wiser.
Ah, true.
It's the Schrodinger's cat, but of your hand. Until we see it, it can either be there or not there. And as always, of course, the one, the only, Spaghetti Joe. My name is Joel. I'll be your plotsman for today. So please sit down, get comfortable, and hit that lycanthrope hunting, pipeline building like button, or you will not get your craft store, goddammit. My CHACHI. I fucking hate her.
This movie is just a whole allegory for Alberta.
Yeah, right. Everybody just wants their pipeline money.
Right.
If you like what we're doing here, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button to get more podcasts just like this one, and hit that bell button so you don't miss a damn episode. Hello, everyone. Ubisoft makes movies. Who knew?
I didn't.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, what exactly did they do for this movie?
I
Did you
didn't.
look it up at all?
Well, at the end it says like based on the game Werewolves Within, so I'm guessing that's a Ubisoft property, but I didn't look into it at all.
I looked it up. It is a PSVR.
Is that the Telltale one?
No, it's a PSVR game where it's basically Werewolf or Mafia. So you like sit around in a circle in VR and you play werewolf. So one of you is killing one of the others every night.
I did keep bringing it up with
passes.
Marcel. I was like, this seems like a video game concept.
Yeah.
I guess I did that
definitely
first.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not Town of Salem though, so it's not good.
Yeah, Town of Salem. There you go.
I haven't played that in forever.
Right.
That was a classic in high school. Yeah.
I don't know when we first started playing it, but
Yeah, somewhere around then, yeah.
I like to, because it's Ubisoft, like there's the one part where the guy gets tackled on the ground and he like takes out the hidden blade to like scratch him with. It's like, really, they just had to do it, huh?
Well, it's the movie we
He's a
can use
descent.
Sorry.
What?
One of you guys go.
He's a descendant of the assassins, bro. He's the modern day assassin, the fucking chubby dude with the crossbow, you know?
I just imagine
What's his name? Maybe it's a reference.
him walking
Mr. Parker.
around like in like the, you know, like the anime space like loading screen where it's just like so a bit about this movie to preface before we get into it. It was released on June 16th, 2021. It's directed by Josh Rubin. Do you guys know who Josh Rubin is?
I think I've heard that name.
Sounds
Not
like
for
a
the
good sandwich.
sandwich.
If you guys watch College Humor, you'll ever like the old days College Humor. It's one of the guys from there.
Maybe that's why it rings a bell.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was cool to figure out that he was doing that. It has a budget of estimated 6.5 million USD and a box office of 941,000. So not a million. We were looking it up. It says that there's, I guess a limited release. So I don't know exactly how that works. I'm guessing they have a higher budget because it's Ubisoft, but I don't know. Yeah. Some people you recognize from this, Sam Richardson is the main one from I Think You Should Leave. He's in like a lot of those sketches. He's in Detroiters, which is kind of similar show. It's not a sketch show. It has like an overarching story. And then you wrote The House, Office, Christmas Party, which I have, I think, seen both those movies, but I don't remember him. And Milana Vaintrub, that's the werewolf.
Post. You ruined the plot, Joel.
If you're watching this, they know. From This Is Us and Ghostbusters. Yeah, so we will.
It was in Ghostbusters, like the new one.
She must play.
I don't know who she played, but she's in it.
I didn't watch the new one. I'll be honest, but
that's probably a good idea.
Now I want to watch the new one.
She's also in the Jake and Amir's sketch.
Well, this is like the
movies and movies part 2.
Jake and Amir's sketch movies.
Yeah, no, like the sketch is called Movies. And movies part 2. She's in it and she just sits there and she doesn't really have any lines. She just like plays one of their girlfriends.
Good for her.
Yeah, the pinnacle.
I was gonna say she's in the like 2016 Ghostbusters, not like the new one.
No, yeah,
So like,
I
so
meant
like
the-
new one.
the girls.
the bad one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's that new.
That new Grinch.
Got that new though.
They're like, shit, we really fucked up on the 2016 one. We gotta go make a new one.
The new one was filmed in like southern Alberta. Is in like
Fort McLeod.
yeah.
And all the parts that are in the city are in Fort McLeod. You can like, we drove through there all the time going to Lethbridge, so it's like.
Yeah, you just instantly tell.
That's cool.
One time, like people were freaking out. One time, I was when I was working in Lethbridge, like in the mall there. Apparently, Dan Aykroyd came through the mall for something, and people were just like freaking the fuck out.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it was like, I've heard by all accounts he's like the nicest fucking guy.
A little bit loopy now, I think. I don't know.
I mean, he does own that Crystal Skull vodka.
Yeah.
And apparently, he's all
really?
he's all into the aliens and stuff.
He's a weird motherfucker.
He oh yeah, the other thing I was gonna say is the outdoor shots. A lot of them were shot in Drumheller too. So like,
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool. And they
Well-
didn't show the giant dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's a shit. Imagine the opportunity they could have had, like instead of having like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, just having like giant fucking Drumheller dinosaur.
Ghost.
Having like, wouldn't that be sick,
Instead of a werewolf, it should have been about were dinosaurs or a weresaur.
dude?
And then
These
it's just
movies are
Drumheller
missing
lore.
out.
I think we actually we need to make a movie like a zombie, like kind of apocalypse movie in Drumheller, and like somebody needs to die at the top of the dinosaur. You know, it needs to be like kind of a life or death choice, whether they like jump off or get killed by zombies.
I'm
Because they're being chased up the dinosaur, and yeah, that'd be
What?
awesome.
That will be pretty sick watching like a bunch of zombies pour out of its mouth or something.
Yeah.
Like tackle someone over, like barfing.
I'm thinking like with the Alberta theme, like somebody dies at like a buffalo jump, like there's like a bunch of raptors chasing after them. That'd actually be cool if that's how they killed a bunch of them, is they like did the whole buffalo jump thing.
Okay, we can go to the.
Well, if you're new to this podcast, every week each of us brings a movie to put on our hero wheel. At the end of the episode, we'll spin it to find out which movie we'll be reviewing for the next week. Although next week we'll be taking a week off. I didn't tell you guys that yet, but we will.
What?
Noah's movie on the wheel this week is The House That Jack Built. My movie is Night at the Museum, which I kind of hope we land on. It's been a while.
Give me gum dum dum.
If he lands on that, I need to buy a costume.
Yeah, you all need to dress up as one of them.
I was gonna get the Roman one.
Oh,
8 Mile is Joseph's movie. I would also accept that because it's like referenced all the time and I haven't seen it front to back. Mars Attacks is Marcel's movie. The Mummy is Josh's movie, the original Brendan Fraser one, not the remake Dark Universe one that didn't take off.
Nice.
Dane's movie is Donnie Darko. So at the end of the episode, we'll give that there thing a spin and
Hell yeah.
see what we're doing. Without any further ado, let's jump right in. Listening to Where Love Begins, listening to ourselves and then our neighbors, Mr. Rogers. Really just sets the tone of the movie right off the bat. There's this man in the forest, and he's taking his ring off, and you hear like his phone ring. Which when I went back, you do hear the like, because later on, that phone is ringing in the werewolf lady's place. But also, yeah, the thing I just wanted to note here is he is taking his ring off. So, like, at one point, Janine is like, oh, yeah, he said that he didn't love me anymore because I let myself go. So it's like he was tackled by the werewolf, but he also was running away to Belize, I think.
I'd say assume both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a cover up for missing.
Okay.
Just convenient. He goes to investigate this kind of like rustling he hears in the woods, and then gets mauled slowly and keeps getting like pulled around, very just like playing with their food kind of moment. And I like the transition is and to him just screaming in his car, doing the like, I don't know, it's like de-stressing like man up like thing he's listening
Like
to.
positive affirmations, like you are a man.
Sigma hypnosis.
Yeah. Chapter 5. Let's all chant the word balls. Balls. Balls.
Balls, balls.
That should have been the opening for this. Balls.
We can still do it.
Yeah.
He's calling his ex-girlfriend as he's pulling into his new town of Beaverville, where he will be the new park ranger there. He's clearly very unconfident calling her. He's like, oh, yeah, call me back. Or, yeah, well, you don't have to. No, yeah, I want you to call me back. Yes. Trying to be cool, not hitting the mark.
No balls. He didn't listen to the tape yet.
No ball.
Fully.
You have to chant it, but you also have to believe it, you know.
Conceive, believe, achieve.
Balls.
The balls.
Testicles, if you will. He pulls up to
Saggy hangers. One might
normally they're talking about something else in that context, I feel, but
Groupie saggers.
now there we go. So they pull up to this inn. It's very kitschy. He walks in, sees her reading something. There's the counter over there, and we meet Janine and Mr. Parker. And he's trying to sell Janine on the pipeline and
The money. Take my money.
basically they're going to be building a pipeline through this city, and he needs like a majority vote so that they can do it, and a bunch of people are going to get a payout because their land is on places where the pipeline would be.
It needs to be a consensus. Everybody.
Democracy.
Yeah.
A
And like, it's
man
nothing done.
that doesn't want to conquer nature, doesn't understand how brutal it is, he says to like Sam. Right, no, is that his name? No, Sam Parker is the pipeline guy. But what's the main
Finn.
Janine?
Finn.
Finn?
Oh, or
thank you.
Finn. We're going on to that. Okay.
Yeah, Finn interrupts their conversation. He's like, "Oh, yeah, but that sure would be a shame if all this nature went away." And Janine says that there's a environmentalist staying on the second floor, so it's kind of funny. She's being convinced of all this. Janine goes to take Finn up to his room, but I don't remember why, but instead, what's the girl's name in this again?
Cecily?
Cecily.
Or
thank you.
no. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Cecily takes him up to the room instead, gives him his mail, which is from the environmentalist that says like, hey, this guy Emerson Flint has been like trapping people around here, so you should go deal with them. But he doesn't really know where he's going, so Cecily says that she'll take him. They have kind of a little meet cute moment here in the hallway. Yeah. She walks him out of the house, and as they're leaving, she's like, you want to hear the hot neighborhood goss? This person's husband ran away to be with this girl, and you see like the blinds close above them. The Janine was like listening the whole time. Well, I mean, I guess that's who you're supposed to think it is.
I mean, how could she? They were like a decent way away from the building at that point, weren't they? Because that was like when they're
window.
Yeah, that also makes sense. But they were like a fucking city block away from the building at that point. Yeah, it's me just being like, no way. I don't believe it.
Also,
we
just
gotta-
not talking too loud.
Gotta write this in as a factual.
Are you sure she heard them or just saw them and then closed?
Just supposed
Fuck
to
these people.
make that leap in logic, I guess.
I feel like it was more of a happenstance thing, but meh.
Why
You
am
never
I
know.
Why am I critiquing in a movie about werewolves if you
it's
can hear
fine.
someone through a closed window?
I was gonna say that's really that kind of brings me into something I was reading on the IMDb site. It's like listed as a factual error, and basically it's after the opening attack. The title card displays 29.5 days later that the attack occurs, and exactly 30 days after the previous attack. Werewolves attack on a full moon, which is a 28-day cycle. So if they would have listed 27.5, it could have been a
Oh.
actual thing, but it wasn't because they fucked up.
They aren't sticking to the mythological lore.
Well, they go on about the whole seventh child being born and shit, and like they're like, oh yeah, all this, but then they fail to recognize that a full moon cycle is not 30 days. Yeah.
How dare they?
Well, that's something I learned today. I didn't know a full moon cycle was 28 days.
Learn something every day.
I thought it just kind
Rainbow.
of changed. And
The more
whatever.
you know.
So,
Sometimes it's 30, sometimes it's 31.
yeah, I would have thought that just based on a season or something. I don't know.
Yeah, those Greek guys sucks at making like months and shit. Like 28 in February, 30 here, 31 here.
It's like I heard that if you, or what was it? It's like you could just make all of the months like 29 days or something, and it would just make a whole lot more sense. Like, yeah, I think that's what it was.
There's something like
I don't know
a
the
month.
number 30.
It's just got to be. Yeah.
But we have to have that amount of days in a year, though.
I know.
Yeah. Why
but
can't we
you
just like
can-
add a day to the add a month?
But some
just
months
throw it
are
in there.
31 and some are like 28
add,
or
like, a
30,
fucking
so
full-
you can just like
a
more
12-day
evenly
month?
distribute them.
No, we're gonna cut like a couple months in half. Like, what are your least favorite months? We'll take some days out of that. And then put it into the new month.
True. You know, November's been feeling a little too long these years.
Time is
No,
just a
I
concept.
like
We
the way
keep
you're
changing
thinking.
it.
November should be 10 days, you know?
True.
That would be so like traumatizing for people who like have a birthday or something in November. They just have to like change it to like December.
Your
3rd or
existence is
something.
erased. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'd
Like, let alone people were born on like a leap year or something. Now it's just the middle of fucking November. Your birthday's just gone.
Yeah.
just snap.
Born in a time that doesn't exist.
A whole new generation of adults that are 5 years old.
All those people that have their birthdays erased have like superpowers now. They're just part of some elite group. Anyways, so he's getting shown around town, meeting all of our different crew. First, they go to see Joaquin and Devin. Devin is a yoga guy. I don't know. And Joaquin is some sort of like tech startup millionaire. Yeah, they like one of the dudes is like upside down. The guy's like hand is slowly reaching, and they're just like standing at the window watching. And Devin gets pissed. It's like, yeah, just leave the package, thank you. Closes it. We meet the like mechanic and her boyfriend. What are their names here?
They're the hillbillies.
Yeah.
Gwen and Marcus.
Yeah, Gwen and Marcus, and Gwen's like, yo, when's my fucking package gonna get in? And she's like, oh, I don't know, like, I'm not holding your package for you, even though low-key, yes, I am. then Marcus comes back. Are you drunk? What do you say? He's like, drinking driving's for dummies, honey. Even he knows, guys. So
God bless him.
She just knows everything about everybody. He asks her how she knows, and she says, well, I got a big bag of secrets. He's like, you're not like implying that you're just reading everyone's mail, because that is a felony. And she's like, no. They meet Stephen King's very own Trish, the worst just character in this movie. Beaverville's Queen Trish, who has a passion for crafting and just wants her fucking pipeline money so she can open a craft store, which, like, she's selling her own crafts to, like, the 10 people that live in this town.
Yeah, she's selling those angels, whatever she makes.
Or soap bottle angels.
Now, what happens once everyone gets one? I guess they buy another.
That's what I'm saying. That seems like a bad investment.
She's just banking on the fact that everyone in this town is just gonna have a full ass mantle of her
They're all
crafts.
enthusiasts for crafts, yeah.
Even then,
Crafts.
it's like
Whoa!
less than $50 a person. She's not making money.
Yeah.
And how many people live there too?
Yeah.
That's like opening a place in Wetaskiwin.
Yeah.
It's like, what's your profit margin on a soap bottle angel? I guess you just get to buy the soap and use the soap, so that's like, you know,
Yeah.
you're saving
Right.
money
You're
there.
getting a return on investment out of this.
Yeah. Yeah, we meet her dog Chachi, and her husband. I can't remember his name. Creepy guy, and I like it. She's just like, yeah, he's not got much attention since Chachi came around. So he's getting,
Which is
left
true,
in
because
the
he's an
dust.
absolute pervert.
Yes, good on you. He salutes with his left hand, which I don't know exactly what that means, but is that like
It's wrong.
yeah, yeah. For
Never left.
And he's like, I like the way you think. Never left. And he's like, well, that's not what I meant. They support the pipeline. They want the money. They visit Parker's phallic power podium of gas. It's just shooting fire up the top, and it's just clearly a dick and balls.
I mean, I think this is all like if we all had a lawn ornament that was a fiery dick and balls. I think we could all be proud of that. That's just the pinnacle of manlyhood right there.
I don't know about that.
All right, I'll have my fiery dick and balls in front of my house.
And you have some stupid liberal lawn ornament we'll compare after.
Liberal lawn ornament. I'm just gonna put like an industrial cannon on mine.
They start walking through the forest to go see Emerson Flint, and she says that she's the youngest of 7, which ends up being important because apparently the youngest of 7 in frickin' Argentina means you're a werewolf. So she tries, so she has this package that needs to go to Emerson Flint, but she doesn't want to go up there for some reason. So she's like, hey, can you take this? And she tries to warn him about something, but he starts answering the phone, trying to talk to his girlfriend, Charlotte, and misses all these signs that just says, you will be shot. Not even like for trespassing or anything. It's just, you will be shot. And once he gets close to the building, he's intrigued, so hangs up the phone, gets closer, starts looking around, opens the window. Bah! There's a little wolf thing in there, and Emerson comes up behind him with a shotgun and pulls out the bear spray, and he's like, "Ugh, I lose. Fuck." And like Noah was saying yesterday, it's Emerson is just a what do we call it? A sovereign citizen. He's like, I don't believe in your position, your government, or anything, so your laws don't apply to me.
I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
I hate that.
Yeah. says Dr. Ellis sent him. He gets really pissed. Like, get off my lawn or I'll shoot you on the count of 10, 9, 8. And he starts running. And gets back down. He's not like a good neighbor like you said at all. I don't like that guy. What the heck? And so she takes him to just the sickest, just little den she has. Like, the axe throwing den. It has arcade machines and like a jukebox, and it's like kind of a bar. Looks pretty sick. Is it a bar? Maybe it makes sense that it's just a bar.
I think it's a bar.
I think it's a bar.
Basement of the inn, I guess. Or
Yeah.
something.
Sounds about right.
Was it even in a basement?
It's its own like separate building, I thought.
That's what I thought.
I don't remember why she has access.
Because it has like the neon sign like outside of it.
It just feels like it should be in a basement.
She explains why she has
yeah,
access, but I fucking forget.
She gives them their mail in the winter, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's some plot excuse to get in.
yeah, she probably killed him and made up something anyways.
Yeah.
So they start getting cozy in there. He puts on a song. Is this the I saw the signs?
Yeah.
I think that's.
Opened up my eyes, I saw the signs.
I think this is kind of a joke, as in he's not seeing the signs that she's a werewolf. Yeah, and she comes out all dancing, and they
Stacked.
absolutely. She like teaches him how to throw an axe, or no. First they talk about his old relationship, and he's like, "Yeah, no, we're still like dating, but like we're not living together, or talking together, or dating." So it slowly goes together in his mind that like we are broken up, and so she's like, "Hey, I want to do something violent." Before the axe throwing as well, they say that Flynn was fired for doing grout pond fishing with his friends, and then they like filmed it and posted it online. That's why he got fired. So it seems just like a very like low, like I guess not that bad of a thing. But
You'd think if you worked for the Rangers, whatever, you get like yearly licenses to fish for free, part of your job or something.
it's probably just where he was fishing, I think, is the thing.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, I thought they said he was doing it without a permit.
Yeah, maybe.
This movie was really memorable.
Like there's a lot of like little I don't know stuff, but yeah, so they go throw the axes. The line I like where he just fucks up the throw, and he's like, must be like European axe. She's like, yeah, metric system fucks it all up. She also says here, like she just nails one on the board, and she's like, oh, I'm sharking you, playing the long con. So it's like all these little cheeky lines. back.
Yeah. Foreshadow.
He gets one up high, down low, too slow. As soon as I saw that, I was like, man, that brings it back. I need to do that to somebody now.
The worst. Getting hit with the too slow.
You do that to me, you're getting fucking stabbed.
You never do that. He has read the book that she just keeps in the back of her pants. Like, even after she goes to change, she leaves that in the back of her pants. Like, what's the sense in that?
Just trying to fuck up her spine when she sits down, I guess. Like,
Or she's just trying to, like, flaunt it to him and be like, you notice this book? Like, I read this book. Even though she says, she's like, women like this don't exist later.
yeah.
But it's like, so have you read this book or haven't you? You seem to know a lot about this book. Like,
She's playing him like, you know,
Like a fool. Like he's an idiot.
like a werewolf.
goes, yeah, like a werewolf, but like, you know, we don't know that yet. So we're you know, this is just, ooh, she's quirky. And yeah, kind of how she pretending to like his interests to bait him into probably murder.
Yeah, they have
You
like
think
that.
she'd just straight up own him right there when she's like secluded in the house?
Yeah, I know that. I was thinking about that so much this movie. I'm like, why wouldn't she just, when everyone put away their guns, just kill everyone right there? Like,
Or
why
just
would you
like
do it?
all in
You can only eat one at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Where she gets people alone often. So it's like, what's the point in not doing that when he's in the axe throwing place? When he's in there, no one else is gonna find him. They're probably not gonna ask for like a while.
But it's also like 20 minutes into the movie or something, so you like can't.
I get it.
shit.
It's for the sake of the movie.
It's like she could have
But yeah,
just gone
she's
to
dumb.
everybody's house and just like, hey, killed you. Okay.
Yeah, she's the
sounds empty.
postman. She can just go into
Yeah.
knows where all the addresses are.
I guess she's also a really weak wolf because she gets fended off by him.
Maybe
It's kinda-
she's waiting for it to get really snowy so that all the food doesn't go bad.
Well, it was pretty snowy.
But
for
she did
full
say all of her
movie.
food's on ice or whatever, and
Yeah.
she mentioned that she was feeding from.
We might as well just end it here. We're at the end of the movie.
So yeah,
And skipping to the final scene in the same location.
they have a real nice moment here, leaning for the kiss. The phone rings and he answers it, and it's his ex, and she gets really pissed and leaves. So yeah, you think there it's like, yeah.
I wonder if she was about to eat him there or
was
do
she gonna,
something
like,
because she gets
kiss-
mad that he gets a. Yeah, she just like seduce people and kill them.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. It's like, it was that the ploy, and then when she was pissed, it's like, why did you leave rather than just eat him right there? I don't know.
Yeah, and then when they're alone in the woods together, when she's mad.
I think she like actually has feelings for him
Yeah, there's some
because
conflict.
like she realizes that he is just kind of like a genuine person in contrast to everyone else in the town. So maybe she's like, I'll keep this guy around.
Yeah, she just likes to kind of hang out with people, but then she's like, okay, I'm done. Like her punk band. She wasn't a punk band, but then she ate them all.
Maybe it's just like the thing you were saying at the beginning with like I was playing with the food.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just how she
Yeah.
treats all the relationships.
Yeah. At the crazy lady's house, she's letting CHACHI out for a party, and she's having a
God.
cigarette when all of a sudden the leash starts getting pulled and it snaps all of a sudden. She grabs like the shittiest flashlight ever, keeps going on and off, moves towards the door, moves the thing, and goes to the next day where it wakes up Flynn. She's still screaming in the morning. The damn devil ate my baby. And Devin's just
God,
like,
she is the worst.
Oh, my ears have been assaulted.
Devin's just like, yeah, what's up for like 4 a.m. jog? I'm training for this triathlon. So like I heard her. It's like just subtle, just like I'm flexing.
Yeah.
Then one of the lines here, like Joaquin, where he's like, wait, is this like an actual person died or like your dog? Because your dog only barked at brown people and Jews. The environmentalist shows up in this room. She says, hey, I'm here to stop the pipeline. The Cecily comes in and the like creepy husband guy's like, Chachi's dead, goes to hug her and she's like dodges underneath. It's like the second time he's gone for it. The just like hick husband wife show up. The streets are all storm fucked. And
Storm foot.
turns out they are, in fact, storm fucked. There was some sort of avalanche in the road that closed the road, and the power line is shot down. The phone lines are down. Internet's not working. He's seeing all this through his binoculars, and they don't have power either. So they're saying something went through the power boxes. He finds the power boxes with just like a big like claw mark through it. He's like, heavens to Betsy. Goes to another one, finds it. Heavens to Betsy. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, it must have been a knife. It's like, how in God's name did you just like slash
Cut
shit
that
up?
with a knife.
Yeah. Even
We
later.
must have bought one of those like late night infomercial knives that can cut through anything, you know.
Honestly, indestructible $20 knife.
Yeah. Maybe they did the hot knife challenge. Heated it up.
I forgot about that.
They're doing hot blades. They just put some green on. Yeah.
So he comes around the corner.
How do we get to that, Joe?
What the heck's a hot knife? What do you mean? How do we get
I
to
guess.
that?
No, I was
No,
just
you're right.
thinking about it. He turns around and finds an arm sticking out from under the deck, and it's her husband, Janine's husband. Goes walking back in. You look like you've seen a body. You're right. He says the generator's all screwy. Somebody went at it with a knife, and everybody starts bickering in the background. And then he stops and tells everybody, "Oh yeah, this and this and this, and also there's a dead body under the porch." And they cut to it, and the girl's just screaming her head off, which fair. And he didn't want to leave him on the ground, so he put him on the table. And they're like, "Yep, that's definitely canine. A wolf, like, will attack its legs so that they can't run away." Environmentalist slips in, takes some samples offered to drink by Parker, and she's like, "No, I don't need that." And while the environmentalist is in there, man, this is just awful. Anyways, do you think that's the thing that got my CHACHI? The only way they have out of this town at the moment is the plow, but the lady doesn't have the parts that she's ordered from the plow. So it seems like a lot of foresight for Cecily, because, like, did she cause the avalanche? I don't think so.
No, because if we're gonna skip to the end of the movie again, we can explain it.
Like,
she didn't know.
Yeah, 'cause she says it's just chef's kiss, but then she also, like, held the parts from the plow from the lady so that she couldn't do that. So I don't know. Maybe this is something that happens often here. I don't know.
Probably.
Perhaps plot convenience.
Ubisoft be like.
Perhaps.
They start discussing what they should do. Maybe they should go and hire Flint to trap or kill whatever this is. And nobody wants to go see him, and nobody will go except Cecily, so she goes with him. You can only eat one of us at a time, after all. If, as they're walking, he's like, if only we had snowshoes, right? And she's like, we get it, you love snowshoes. Just obviously still angry. And he says, yeah, that's really cool of you coming. She's like, oh, is it cool? Is it cool of me? And starts...
Cool in, like, a friend way, or is it cool in, like, a girl you almost make out with way?
And then he starts to apologize, and she's like, no, it's fine. Like, that's the woman moment. It's like, are you making a deal out of this, or aren't you? Like, so, they stop, and she's like, you know what, maybe Charlotte's right. Maybe you do gotta man up. And when they keep walking... Balls, is what to take away from this. Back at the lodge, they're discussing the pipeline, and Parker's still trying to convince people, but they're saying they need a majority of people, and everyone's bickering. Meanwhile, like, the lady's just looking there all creepy with CHACHI. And back at the lodge, Janine brings Ellis some tea, and she doesn't know, like, we see all her, like, research stuff. She's, like, trying to figure out what's going on here. Like, is she really an environmentalist? It seems like she would be part of, like that. There was gonna be a twist where she was, like, in the FBI or CIA or something. But
it sure has a lot of, like, DNA equipment stuff for an environmentalist.
And it seems to be pretty, like, I don't know.
How broad is the term environmentalist?
True. The super
Animals are part of the environment. Super liberal, natural.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
So, like, Janine, or no, Ellis tells her, it's like, I will find out what, like, killed your husband. She's like, oh, leans in for the hug, and then she just turns around and misses again. So, okay, I'll go. They arrive at the door at Flint's house. And this is like, I think my thumbs up moment. It's like, you want me to knock? No. It's like, doesn't knock. Then, are you scared? Oh, no, because I can hear your tummy. Oh, what about you? No, I'm punk. Oh, really? Yeah, we had a band in high school called the Megalodons. The lead singer's name was Meg, and then the door flies open. I don't know. It just gets me.
Just a ginge scene.
So he doesn't know why his generator's down either. And they're explaining, so in conclusion, we need you to hunt this thing down and kill it. And he's like, ha 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 ha. No. They're trying to convince him, hey, you're still part of this town. All these people wanted to vote for you to do this, and they thought that you were the man for the job. And
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
yeah, he needs to be a good neighbor, like Mr. Rogers, but he doesn't know who Mr. Rogers is. So that doesn't work. Go back to the lodge again for a second, and they're saying how the CHACHI lady is saying how this town is filled with liars. How could, like, her husband have ran away and her husband supported the pipeline, but she doesn't? And isn't that weird that they went missing and all this? Marcus comes up. Well, I guess we have some known unknowns and some unknown knowns. So,
good moment.
Now I'm saying. That's all I get from him is just like J-Rock vibes from Trailer Park Boys.
yeah, fucking like
Yeah.
Jay and Silent Bob looking ass. And he calls it, they're like, this all sounds like, or well, it's like basically an animal attacked, but they have to be smart enough to go around and get all the generators. So it's the act of, and he gets cut off by Marcus, who's like, oh, werewolf. And they're like, no, not a werewolf. Like, but you're right.
Little do they know.
The second kind of thumbs up moment in this is just when they're going to leave. They find like Chachi's collar and they want to bounce, and they're at the door and they're just like struggling with the locks or whatever. And he's like, let me get it for you. And then unlocks it for them. It's like, oh, come on. You didn't have to do that. It's kind of sexist. I could have done it myself. And yeah, they head out of there. There's a part again with like the creepy dude like reaching to touch one of the other girls, and he freaks out when he sees the collar. And so then they're all meeting in this house, and the ranger wants to call a meeting with everybody. He's like, okay, well, I think we all should just stay in the mansion, be safe. We're going to need to double up. He's like, oh, I think everybody's fine with that, right, Cecily? And she's like, okay, slow down. Out of curiosity, who's packing? Everybody pulls out a gun. Meanwhile, he's only got like his fucking bear spray. And then the creepy dude just, okay, I will be sleeping with my wife. Unless anybody wants my gun in their bed. Cecily? So they have a good old-fashioned sleepover with guns. They go to talk to Dr. Ellis to tell her what's going on. She's not answering. She just needs more time to work, she says. And they start locking up all the doors, all the windows, everything, boarding everything up. Someone is stalking around at night this night and pulls creepy dude out of his bed into the hallway. And he's getting mauled by this monster, and he gets shot away by, her name again, Dane is...
What's her name?
I have it.
Is it Trisha? No, not Trisha. Sorry.
Gwen.
Gwen.
Oh wow, she doesn't look anything like her picture.
She gets... Gwen shoots the monster away, but also shoots a creepy guy in, like, the chest. Even though she's like, she had enough time to get there and then like pull out her gun and like shoot like several times, but then she's like, oh, I didn't get a good look at it. It was fast though. It's like, man, you're pretty trigger happy. Like if you couldn't make out that like, hey, this thing has ears or like, I don't know. So they, Ellis comes, takes more samples of this and goes away, grabs the booze from Parker before she leaves. And Yeah, they give the guy some painkillers, and Marcus is just like eyeing up the painkillers real hard as he's like sitting there. They're saying like, how did the monster get in, and how did it get out? And they're like, who says it got out? So it could still be roaming around. Ellis is grabbing her gun and thinking about all of her evidence. She seems to be having some sort of moral dilemma of just like, oh, could this be real? They go to her door and she starts shooting out the door, and she's like, you guys gotta back away because like whatever this monster, like she basically knows it's a werewolf. She's like, oh, it's gotta be one of you guys. It's a lycanthrope. And so Parker goes to go in another way into her room, and when he gets in, they just hear pow, pow, pow. And he's like, oh man, she killed herself. That was wild, huh? She's less afraid of death than whatever happened to Dave over there. And like some people are suspicious of him. And like even at the end of the movie, like it still seems like he could have killed her. It didn't seem like she was very like what's the word I'm looking for? Like very
susceptible. I don't know.
Suicidal.
Yeah, it didn't seem like she was gonna do that, and then yeah.
Just drinking, you know. She got a little white girl wasted and thought it'd be really fun to just pop her head off.
Try it just once, you know.
Yeah, just try it.
I've dabbled.
I dabble in suicide from time to time.
So yeah, they're all sharing their stories of like, oh yeah, I heard werewolves do this. I heard that like, yeah, in Argentina, the seventh born is a werewolf. Well, my daddy used to kick my ass. And so
okay.
Everyone in unison, yeah, okay.
That's so good.
Good for you.
Yeah, so everyone starts talking about like how they think that this is all happening for the pipeline. I like the line between like Devin and Joaquin here, just like, you can't just buy people. It's like, honey, we're rich. We can't say that. Who are we to tell these people they can't take a check? Yeah, the Marcus starts talking about nobody fucks with my money, and he pulls out his gun, and everybody pulls out their gun. Are we really in a Mexican standoff? Honey, just a standoff. They, for some reason, this is like the dumbest move. They all throw their guns away.
Mm-hmm.
So that the person with the distinct advantage is the werewolf at this point, and nobody knows who it is. But whatever. They're sitting around, waiting out the time, talking about the creepy guy, and they're even calling him a creep at this point. He's like, I'm not a creep. I'm a werewolf. And you're a werewolf, and we're all a werewolf. Well, maybe I ate my own hand off. And they're just like, okay, yeah, good, honey. So
he's a creep. He's a weirdo.
The hell is he doing here?
That's good. They are suspect about Janine and her story, and she's like, I am just gobsmacked about these accusations. It's just not something I've ever heard before. Except for, oh, just smack your gobble, yeah? And yeah, she's like, I didn't kill my husband. Like, is nobody suspicious of this pipeline guy who just went in there and then this lady was dead? She took his booze. She didn't want his booze. They started accusing all the newcomers, and they're like as if kind of thing. Everybody's blah, 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 blah. He just takes this cup, throws it at the wall. That was Royal Crown Derby. I don't even know what that is, but it's just funny that that's how he broke the silence, just throwing something that doesn't belong to him. So he's trying to like bring morale back up. Can't we all think about why we came to this town? Like Trish, I know you're devastated about Chachi. Yeah, I am really sad. And he starts talking about the milk bottle angels and this whole thing about like, Joaquin, like I know you guys are millionaires, but like these people don't have a lot of money. It means a lot to them. He's like, we're not millionaires, and then he's like, oh yes we are. He's like, oh okay. So he's like, yeah, let's just calm down until we've had a little sleep. And they're like, fuck that noise. Marcus pieces out. Gwen pieces out. Parker and everybody pretty much except for Cecily, Janine, and Flynn. And so before Cecily leaves, how are you going to protect yourself? Got the bear spray. Okay. She hugs him and leaves. It's like, man, you're really playing the long con at this point. Just really fucking with them. They hear a distant scream that wakes the ranger from his chair, and all three of them show up scared. And she says, there's something in Parker's room. I thought he left. Me too. They look inside, and the window is open. There's a newspaper on the ground that says that, like, 2 left dead in these 2 places that Finn had been. So it's like trying to throw a red herring in and be like, oh, who is it? And then he turns around with a knife and points at her. But then when we come back to it, he's like, what does that smell like? Diesel. So yeah,
Don't you love the smell of diesel in the morning?
Diesel Knife is the name of my cologne.
That'd be a pretty good punk band name, Diesel Knife.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Country punk. So yoga guy Devin and Joaquin are walking back through the forest, and they're getting a bit spooked, and start hearing some rustling in the forest. Like, I'll fuck you up so hard. And Trisha just shows up and is just like hunting them down. Shoots Devin. He's on the ground. She's like grabs the maple tap from the tree, and she's like, maple tap, where the sweet stuff comes out, and stabs him in the neck. I want my craft store. And I was watching this, and I was like, is this a Kill Hall of Fame? No, but it's like, it's up there.
You sure it's not a Kill Hall of Fame?
You guys think so?
I think, where
pretty
the
unique
sweet
way to
stuff
go.
comes out. And then,
Yeah, the line
then
makes it. Yeah. Okay, I'll put it.
All right. While you're doing that, sorry, the Royal Crown Derby, what we were talking about there, dinner sets from that site range anywhere from $40 to about $800.
What a dick! He broke
Yeah.
Royal Crown Derby.
Yeah, no, it could have been an expensive one. You never know.
Not the Royal Crown Derby.
Is that like per a set? It's like 40 per set, or like
It's
40
the-
per item.
No, per set.
Oh, okay.
And how much?
Damn.
What consists of a set?
It ranges. There's 16-piece sets. There's 24. There's 40. There's 20. There's 32.
Do they have big plates, small
Literally
plates, cups,
any number.
mugs?
Do they have
Yeah,
sweet
they
Wow.
got,
butter
they
knives?
got a lot of those. They got crystal. Hell,
They
let's
have
see what
salad
this is.
forks.
Ah, you lost
Specifically-
me. They're selling crystals and that shit.
Welcome to the Derby Cast, the only crown.
Yeah.
Their crystal is arguably not as.
Remember to use
expensive.
the code No Thumbs Up on the Royal Derby, whatever's website.
Yeah. They so
Also, this episode of the No Thumbs Up podcast brought to you by NordVPN.
go off.
Protect your online anonymity with NordVPN. Back to the show.
They find a bunch of X-Off towns that Parker's been tracking the attacks through. They hear another big clunk, and Parker comes in fully decked out in gear.
Good thing to note. Another weird little add-on that was on the IMDb site. He has like night vision goggles on when he enters the house, but he also has a torch. So that would
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah,
fuck up his night vision.
just blind him.
yeah.
Yeah, he just like comes in there looking like Splinter Cell character. Like he's got the night vision goggles, like the rifle and everything, all black.
Was that a Ubisoft game?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, what the hell? Oh, damn it.
Oh, wait.
I didn't even realize that.
Sam Parker.
Yeah,
isn't-
Sam Fisher. When it came up, I was like, is that Sam Fisher? Like, this dude's
Oh.
wearing Sam Fisher shit.
Mm.
I feel like that's a intentional, like, Ubisoft thing to put that in there. Name a guy Sam, give him iconic night vision goggles.
What's like the next most?
I wonder what other shit like I missed
Yeah.
if I'm looking for Ubisoft references.
Yeah. So
Storm fucked.
Probably a Ghost Recon
Probably
straight
one.
point in there.
I hated that.
From the hit Ubisoft game Storm fucked, you know?
no.
Oh, you guys haven't played Stormfucked yet?
Bullets.
It's a PS2 classic.
Can you put a swear in your title for a game? Sorry, it's totally sidetracked. Can you legally do that?
I have never seen a game
Probably
with a
not.
swear in the title.
Maybe like ass you can put in, but
Ass blasters.
The closest is probably like South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
oh yeah.
Weird to think about.
Yeah.
Fracturing your butthole or the name?
Both.
Both. Yeah.
I just can't stop thinking about how Shadow the Hedgehog swore in his game.
Yeah, and that was E10 and up, or was it teen? I think it was E10 and up, and he said like some explicitives. No, it was teen. It was teen for sure.
Shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
that game was.
Oh, I remember when he died, him saying shit, and I was like, "Oh, my parents didn't hear that."
Damn.
Oh yeah, it was E10 and up. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Remember
weird.
that time he died and he's like, fuck you, Eggman. Just me?
That game was originally gonna be called Shadow the fucking Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Shadow the
Can't call him a
goddamn
bitch.
fucking hedgehog.
And that's when they had to change the rule. Now you can't have swears in the titles. of
How is that
games.
E10 and up? Damn, they got away with that.
I know, and
Actually,
you can
E10
kill cops in that game with guns.
Yeah, like with
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah.
It's a different time.
Yeah.
I think what also
Yo, someone at
shows-
Sega was having like a moment, like,
Yeah.
like I can't handle this. I have to release my rage somehow.
Just red pilling
Sonic.
real hard.
Sonic Manhunt Edition.
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah,
why,
honestly.
what they were thinking of that game. But yeah, apparently this movie too, The Werewolves Within, was rated R. Which is kind of like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they swore. Yeah, there's blood.
Did they hit
nothing
on
too
any like
bad.
adult topics or something? Usually that it instas something to like R rating.
Probably just like the
They didn't show
amount
any
of
boobs.
swears and like there's
Yeah,
no
there's no
nudity.
nudity.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not
For me-
too bad.
Yeah, for me, for something to be rated R, there needs to be like nudity, basically.
Or
Because
like
otherwise, like, yeah, otherwise, or just like blatant, just like F-bombs and
gratuitous, like
just yeah, insane everywhere.
Oh,
Okay.
Sam Richardson, like Finn from the movie, was also in the cast in the game too.
Ah,
That's
that's cool.
cool.
Yeah.
game.
The game.
Yeah. Oh,
The game
never
that
mind.
was based on.
Never mind. I misread that.
Oh.
No, he's not.
I was like, don't you play like you just play as the people in the game, so you are the voice. So, yeah. So they find, which I guess then if he did play the game, he would be voicing one of the characters, you know. So
Oh, you know the scene. That's not night vision. He's just wearing his PSVR. You know, he's just playing the game.
if you look real closely. So yeah, find a bunch of Extoff towns. He's been tracking him down. Walks in with all the gear, and they go and hide outside. Joaquin ends up finding them, and so it's Joaquin, Cecily, and Finn. They're outside, and he tells them what happened to Devin, and they go and hide in Trish's house. They find like Marcus in there with just like a bunch of knives taped to his hand, which Freddy Krueger reference, like who
Yeah.
made
All I imagine is like you try to hit someone with that, and then the knives either like push back into your hand or like fall off because it's just fucking duct tape. Like,
It wouldn't work very well.
You got one slash basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make some connection where like
Looks like a Deathclaw gauntlet.
Mortal Kombat is made by like Ubisoft,
NetherRealm,
so
Warner
that,
Brothers.
Like that's why it's Freddy Krueger or something. But no,
Oh yeah, all the connections.
yeah.
Go off, sis.
Who made the?
We're gonna just have a fucking red string wall behind us at the end of this, just connecting all the little pieces back to Ubisoft.
conspiracy.
So
Oh, wait, they're French too, right? Like we can't trust them.
Absolutely.
once you know French, the language, you can't be trusted.
Yeah,
No, we can't trust you anymore.
it's Canadian French too. So
You never could. He, Marcus wants to just steal everyone's shit and then act like the werewolf did it, and then just run off. So he like pulls his gun, like takes some shit and starts running out of the house. And then Gwen just like reverses into him and kills him. She's like, come on, brainless, let's go.
This is my thumbs. This is just the dumbest shit. It's like she sees him just on the road and just thunk, and it's like, come on. Like I don't understand this
just a
at
couple
all.
of idiots.
She also says, come on, brainless, and then becomes brainless a half second later when Trisha
Oh,
shoots her head.
Yeah. And that's my thumbs up moment.
And she says she did that for sleeping with her husband, the creepy guy. They're just sitting there. Man, this town is batshit. They are just like, yeah, okay, back in the house. And Trisha like goes in. She's like, go, you like fucking whippersnappers. And like goes check the door. Oh, it's locked. Oh, I know another way in. She's like very like self-narrating as like, going around the house. She shows up at the back door, Michael Myers style, with the gun, and gets them all into the living room. She's saying, "No, you should have just let Mr. Parker like build his shit and leave it that way." And she looks over to see that her husband has just died on the couch from bleeding out. Like, never got him any help. And I guess I couldn't get him any help. There's probably not a hospital here. But Joaquin just like hits her across the face with like a fire poker, and that cracks her neck, and she's dead. They go out to steal Marcus's truck and just accidentally like step on him along the way out. Ooh, sorry, Marcus. And Joaquin wants to kill Cecily. He's like, she's the 7th born. Like, I don't know if she's from Argentina or whatever, but
Just goes full blown like fucking Spanish on her. I need to kill you.
like, shut the fuck up, girl. I love you so much and I have to kill your ass. Then he just gets struck by a crossbow and like, ow. Dies. And or no, he doesn't die, he just falls down for a second. And Cecily gets into the truck and oh no, it won't start. She gets grabbed by Parker, and Parker thinks that the ranger is the werewolf, and he's like, oh, I found the diesel knife in your room. And he's like, but I found the diesel knife in your room. And
At this point, Finn should have been like, oh.
there's a
Like,
lot.
you can kill her. Like,
Cecily attacks him, and then the ranger tackles him, but this is an Assassin's Creed Ubisoft movie, so she can blade cut him. This is the second time he gets cut and just does nothing. He gets cut by like the knife hand from Marcus, and he's just like, oh, my work shirt. And then this time he gets slashed, and I'm pretty sure nothing happens.
And it's rated R? What the hell? Didn't even get his belly sliced open?
Is it like he gets stabbed, and that like I'm just jumping ahead like a scene, and she's like, don't die, okay? Like, say you're not gonna die, and then literally 2 seconds after that, he's just up and walking and fine and like fighting her off. It's just like it's just like no mention of like I'm bleeding out. No, he's just cool after that.
Yeah, and she also says, "Oh yeah, go."
I was just saying, this man's just got like 3 years of adrenaline stored in his body to just not feel the pain of what he's gone through.
Yeah.
he also is. She's like, yeah, don't die, so I can come back and kill you in 2 seconds. I guess that's another playing with your food type thing. But
Yeah.
so
No, sorry to interrupt you, but
go.
another just completely like off topic from that, but Joaquin and Devin, another little like subtle nod. Their last name is
Joaquin
Wolfson.
with an M.
Wolf. Yeah.
Joaquin
What's the last name? Wolfstead?
Wolfson.
Wolf.
So, little werewolf nod to that one there.
Everybody's just has a reason to be the wolf in this.
Mhm.
But yeah, Joaquin gets up. Your pipeline is trash.
Yeah, like that line.
And then shoots the gas thing, and you see it from really far away. And then once again, Cecily and Finn are just a-okay.
The only two left alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would definitely, that explosion like that you saw from afar wouldn't have killed everybody. I mean, why would it? They were only across the street from this explosion.
Yeah, no burns.
Yeah.
no
what exactly
shrapnel.
exploded to?
The big gas
Like dick and balls.
yeah.
Penis.
Penis.
Yeah, that definitely wouldn't like ignite and go to every other gas line in the entire town. Just blow up all the houses.
No.
Like,
It wouldn't. It wouldn't.
I know how gas works.
I've bought it before.
Literally,
That
it's
axe throwing place that was literally across the street, perfectly fine. I hate
but
it.
like, I don't know, they were all standing way too close. But whatever. They'd go to the cool arcade layer, and then don't die because they would scar me, and I really like you. So she leaves, and he hears a whistle, and he starts walking around to go and trace it. He finds the fuel injector on the ground that Gwen was waiting for, and then he finds a Charlie Day, Always Sunny style room with just like all this stuff on the wall about herself being a werewolf, I guess. And she finds the stuff that belongs to Janine's husband, the ring, the cell phone that is still charged 29 and a half
look at little
days
Nimbus.
later.
I found a werewolf, guys.
He's a werekitty. Oh, what
He's
a
a
little
werecat.
boy. Okay, let's just
He's gonna
pause.
eat you. Watch out.
Let's just pause for a moment. What a little fucking guy. So and why is the phone ringing? That was my thumbs down moment. What, like,
Yeah,
it's
we were wondering why a dead guy was getting texts or whatever.
29 and a half days later, the phone is still charged and going doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. It's getting text, and they don't even show why it's getting text. Like, maybe if Janine was just like, I miss you, come back. I guess she could be texting him. Because she thinks that she knows he's dead at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But he goes back.
His
and
lover in Bailey's wondering why he's not there.
that could be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we had, it
All
took
right.
us 4 of us to put it together after 2 watches, and they don't actually explicitly tell us, I don't know.
To be fair, the 4 of us equals about 1 brain, so.
We share a cell, a brain cell.
At least.
He goes back and he's like, it's you, isn't it? You weren't even in a punk band, were you? And she's like, no, I was. I just ate them. It's like, didn't I seem too good to be true? It's like, hey, narcissist much.
Like, no, you were great. And then she's like, I can't start the car. Parker's got me by the hair. That's great.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, like, none of those decisions make any sense. It's like, okay, why are you not starting the car? And this guy who has a crossbow that can kill you, like, you let him grab you by the hair and drag you across over this way? Like, I don't know. Like,
It's like,
You think
honey,
he'd like transform the moment he grabbed you or something or whatever.
great.
great. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, stop yelling. I'm not yelling. That's taking a tone. werewolves, a real woman like me, are a fantasy. He's like, why not just hunt stuff? And she's like, oh, I tried that. It was exhausting. It's like, man,
Fair.
lazy. You're a werewolf. So, but Beaverfield was perfect apparently because everybody hated each other, and so they're basically just taking care of themselves, blaming each other. And she kept trying to put him or make him into one of them, but he's pathological. He's too fucking nice. And yeah, this is where she says, like, a girl's got to eat. I got food on ice till spring. And this is where he, like, blows up and kind of has a good monologue. He's just like, you did all this? Like, you've been mocking me all this time for being nice? I'm compassionate, I'm nice, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's fucking okay to be nice. And has that for kumbaya bullshit. And she's like, nah, it's a dog-eat-dog world, so you can be nice or you can be me. And she starts turning into a werewolf and starts attacking him. And apparently her hearing and senses and speed and power have been lessened for this fight.
Yeah.
You know how it is, video game logic. And so, right as she goes to growl, she gets, like, hit by a shovel. And Emerson Flynn is there. And he's like, what are you doing here? Being a good neighbor, like Mr. Rogers. But he pretty much immediately gets mauled and thrown away. So he has to hide.
Literally, her, like, just the most inconsistent strength level ever. Just, like, having trouble tussling with Finn, and then just whips Emerson across the fucking room, who is just a massive guy.
Yeah.
This slightly bothered me a little bit.
Like, even when she's on top of him, he's, like, holding her off.
Right?
But that and, like, when Finn is bleeding out still, and she's like, doesn't know where he is for the axe throwing thing, or when he goes to hide.
Yeah.
Kind of forget when that happens in the fight. I don't know if it's before or after this happened, but
Is it right after? Yeah, it's the next thing.
yeah. So exactly when he's doing that, and it's like, oh, she doesn't know where he is. Like, why? He's a fucking fresh hunk of meat, just bleeding out.
Yeah, it's like there's either got to be, like, trails on the ground, or you can smell it, or you have, like, dog hearing. You should be able to hear him rustling around.
Like, she could hear his tummy earlier, and, like,
Yeah.
can't even hear him gasping for fucking air or something.
And the jukebox isn't even playing yet to cover the sound because that's hit by an axe that he misses.
A shame.
He didn't learn anything.
It was the European axe.
Yeah,
True.
not the native to northern Alberta axe.
The tomahawk.
Different. Yeah, the different weight distribution.
Where was this filmed again?
I don't know.
Question.
Marcel said, like, Minnesota. Was it Minnesota? No, was it Minnesota or Michigan? He said. I think it was Minnesota. I'm pretty sure Minnesota's closer than Michigan.
I'll let one of you be the researcher
You
of
better
that.
stay off the streets if you can't take the heat.
Oh, it said Woodstock, New York.
Huh.
Wow.
Well, it snows in New York, I guess, even though I don't know.
Where's
New
this
York snows
supposed to
real.
be, though? I guess it's in the Beaver or whatever.
It's in Vermont.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, it's supposed to be in Vermont?
Yeah. Which is
Like,
another northern location
Hmm.
in the U.S.
So,
Yeah.
the
Lame.
werewolf once again gets on top of her, or him, and just out of reach, he grabs a snowshoe and stabs her in the neck. Yay, snowshoes! And then he goes and helps Flint up. He's still alive. He's like, "Oh, you saved my life." It's like, yeah, well, like what you said in the cabin about community, like that was beautiful. And we see the werewolf getting up in the background, and he's like, well, like, we should all go celebrate. Maybe we can go to Janine's and she can make us a sandwich. And then the werewolf jumps at them and gets shot out of the air with a crossbow. Janine at the door. Make your own damn sandwich. That's the end of the movie. Holy shit! What a
They're
ride.
having that conversation. They just like hear rustling in the back. Finn like turns to look. The body's just gone. He just makes no note of it. Goes back to the conversation. Just like, oh yeah, being a good neighbor, Mr. Rogers. That's good. I'm glad we're friends now.
Yeah.
They botched the hell out of the ending of that movie.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So before we get into our ceremony of thumbs, I will just remind anybody watching this to please hit that like button, comment which movies you'd like us to do. We're on every sort of audio service now, so you can listen to us there. And now we move on to the ceremony of thumbs. At this point, we must decide whether we say, hey, we recommend this movie, you should watch it, or you can probably give this one a pass. 3, 2, 1... Wow.
Miss.
Who the
Anybody?
fuck chose this movie? Oh, Joel.
Joel?
This fucking guy. It's like it's not
It's fun at
offensive.
times.
Yeah, and it's fine, but it doesn't amount to much. Like the twists don't feel like that surprising or like that.
Doesn't go
like,
too hard in one direction.
No.
Like, I was-
Spreads itself out a bunch.
Like I was saying in the for chat, like just when you think the movie is like escalated, it just like keeps escalating for like that last half hour, which is fun. And it's like it's a fun ride. It's just not something you need to watch though.
No, it's like it tries to do like this horror comedy thing, and I think it lands more of the comedy than the horror, and even a lot of the comedy I feel like doesn't land as hard. Yeah, like it's a fun watch once, and you don't really have to pay attention to it too hard, but it's nothing crazy. Yeah. Anyone else?
It's fun. All right, it's popcorn.
Put it on in the background at a Halloween party or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that
that's
sounds
good.
about
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But we can now find out which movie we will be watching for next week. So I'll just go over the movies on our wheel one last time before we give it a spin. We have 8 Mile, which is Joseph's movie, Mars Attacks, which is Marcel's movie, The Mummy, which is Josh's movie, Donnie Darko, which is Dane's movie, The House That Jack Built, which is Noah's movie, Night at the Museum, which is my movie. Let's go around one more time. 8 Mile, which is Joe's movie. No.
One more time.
Okay. You guys have any bets? What do you think it's going to land on?
Yeah, I kind of think it's gonna land on the Mummy.
I mean, it's gonna land on mine because for some reason it just lands on it all the time. So I'm just gonna say my movie.
Okay.
'cause it seems
Joe,
to
you
happen.
should play like
Joe
gambling
luck.
wheel games.
Let me just...
Apparently.
Because it always lands on yours.
Why don't you just play roulette? Just bet on
He's
green.
adjusting. He's adjusting. He's
I'm
Oh, he's
making
moving the
sure-
magnet.
I know,
He's
I'm
moving
making
the
sure
magnet.
everything is tight. Everything is tight. So maybe it won't land on
That
you.
shit tight.
Okay. 3, 2,
Shit.
1. Donnie
Oh.
Darko. Hey, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's away and it landed on mine. Let's go.
Let's go. What was the last one of Dane's movies?
It's
yeah, no kidding.
been a little while.
Let's check real quick.
Yeah, what?
You can always
Yeah, when's the last time we got Joel's movie? I feel like it's been
Yeah.
forever.
Let's see.
Fuzz, I think.
V
Was
for
Hot Fuzz my
Vendetta?
last one?
Or-
No. I think Hot Fuzz was my last one.
That's not that long ago.
Was The Big Lebowski yours? Maybe.
Yes, that also was, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, not next week, the week after, we'll be watching Donnie Darko and reviewing it. Please join us then and share us with your friends. Do all that nice stuff. Like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, we will see you guys next time.
Later.
Peace.
See ya.